Hey guys, thanks for stopping by, hanging out with me for a little bit on the channel. I got to hit you guys with a question I was asked with, and I kind of want your opinions on what you would do and how you would have answered this question if it was posed to you. So, some friends of mine asked me a question on how I still find fun in playing games with today's games and in today's climate. And a question that shouldn't been that difficult to answer, it really got me to thinking. In a time where people just kind of, I guess, want an escape from what's going on in the world today, whether it be, employment, family, politics, and what I have done to really enjoy, or as he so eloquently put, find my fun in playing games again, is I went back to some of my classics. I went back to some of the older games that I played, and I could have rolled credits on them, but they were older games that I've played before with a younger mindset. So now what I do is I go into the game with a more mature mindset, and I do this as well with movies. You know, just going back and looking at some of these old movies or playing some of these old games with a more mature mindset, and really, not I don't want to say uh, taking for granted, but really appreciate what was put into that game, how that game was made, and the contents of that game, and what you can grab from that game. The guys I hang out with they're a wide genre. So you have Gen Xers, you have some Gen Zs in there, you have some millennials in there, and it just really gives you a different outlook on and a thought process of certain things. So I convinced one of the I don't know if that's millennial or Gen Z. He's about 22, 23 years old. I convinced him to try Red Dead Redemption, and he loved it. Had never played it and seen certain parts of it, but just looking at other people play, other content creators play it on YouTube, he kind of experienced it that way. But him going back and playing it, really, enjoying it, he ended up buying the second one. Now he's playing through the second one. So some of the games that are out there like that, some of the certain genres that I kind of miss playing is first-person shooters, multiplayer games. There's not a lot of older games that I can still play where those lobbies are either still alive, or if they're even just populated at all. So those are some of the games that I really can't go back to like I wish I could and enjoy, like your Modern Warfare or your Black Ops 2 older sports games. I still go back to those and play them. Some companies, some games you can actually update the rosters on and continue play them like that, but I enjoy playing those. With the way gaming is now, I really hate the day has come that I know who a Strauss Zelnick or Andrew Wilson, Bobby Kotick, etc., that I know who these guys are, because I can remember back in the day when I played one of my favorite games of all time, which is Metal Gear Solid. I played and loved that game before I even knew who Hideo Kojima was. So now these games have become a lot more corporate, and I'm not one to buy into that. Even though I have a PlayStation 5, I think I may have maybe 6, 7 games that actually have the PlayStation 5 logo on them, and 2 of those were gifts. But it just really, if you look at that, my PlayStation 5 library versus my PlayStation 4 library, it's night and day. Started playing these older titles that I loved as a kid and so forth, and that I really enjoyed. I just really had to come to terms with, there was a question I had amongst myself was, hey, am I getting too old for games now? Am I just falling out of love with my hobby? It's not that at all. It's just that I've fallen out of love with the way that my hobby has become and what I've seen my hobby become today. So, if there's anybody out there, that's what I would challenge you to do. Now, I don't want to say challenge, I would entice you to try that. You can find older game systems at secondhand stores. I don't know, wherever you are in the country or the world. We have a place called Second and Charles. We have a game exchange, and you can actually hit up some of these flea markets and garage sales or yard sales or so forth like that, and you start to actually find a fun factor in that. It becomes the fun of the hunt, hunting for these older titles, hunting for these older games that give you that, nostalgia. It gives you that dopamine hit when you find them and you find a working title, just like a diamond in the rough. That's completely different feeling in itself. In the comment section, kind of let me know, what are you guys doing to kind of find your love for the game, and how are you still having fun? Like, what are you doing to save this hobby that they're so vigorously trying to destroy? And one of the things I love about playing these older games is those games were actually complete when we purchased them. You didn't have the second chance of a day one patch, or when we would go and rent the games or borrow them from a friend. You had 30 to 45 seconds to, with reading the back of the box, to convince me to give your game a try. And you didn't have the influence and content creators all on the internet, swaying your decision and picking and choosing what games they want to be hot that month or that era in time, because it piques their interest, or they're being paid or sponsored by the company. I don't work for these companies and these corporations. I'm not a dev, so I'm not ever going to want to do that. So I'm not going to kiss their ass. I'm probably their worst nightmare. I'm an open-minded, critical thinking consumer that spends my money for my products. So I'm not going to have my decision or my word swayed for the simple reason of knowing that company gave me or gifted me that game or so forth like that. My opinion is my honest opinion. It is how I feel about the game. And that's what I want you guys to do too. Don't be swayed by the internet or some, content creator or streamer, your favorite streamer, whatever game they're pumping up or hyping up that month. You use your own discretion and choose if that game is something that you would like to try, and therefore you would completely minimize the disappointment that you get from buying an unfinished product because someone else said it was fun. So when we start critically thinking and we start, thinking for ourselves and maybe playing some of these older games or not spending as much money on the shit that they're, dishing out to us right now, I think that's how we fight back. I think that's how we win. And that's how we take back our hobby, our pastime. When the question was asked, it really got me to thinking. Nostalgia doesn't necessarily have to be someone that experienced something, getting a chance to relive that or rekindle that feeling that they had when they saw or played something. Nostalgia can also give the chance to somebody that maybe have totally missed out on that era to actually have a chance to go back and not revisit it, but visit it for the first time and experience it. So it was such a simple question, but it really opened up a deeper mindset of the whole concept of it, and really got me to thinking. So, like I said, again, in the comment section, I'd want to hear from you guys. What are you doing? Like, what games are you playing? If you're still gaming, or if you've come back to gaming after a long hiatus, what brought you back to gaming, or what keeps you loving gaming? Like, what keeps you turning on that power button and sitting on a couch or at a PC desk and enjoying one of your favorite pastimes? So yeah, sound off in the comments. Maybe some of your comments, I can give those guys as far as ideas, because I'm just one person. They probably have some different ideas or some different games that you're playing, or some different ways you're kind of maneuvering. So yeah, I would love to hear it, and maybe from that I can actually try out some games that I've never tried before. Yeah, so I'm really anxious to hear what you guys have to say about that matter, about that question. I'm really anxious to hear some of your ideas and some of your thoughts on that. I do stream. I don't really have a schedule. A little too busy for that at the moment, but I do stream on Twitch. You guys come drop me a follow. I'm on the road to affiliate. It's Yasuke_47. I'll put that link in the description of the video. But yeah, guys, I think I'm gonna leave it there. Like I said, just at the end of the day, remember, I am Yasuke. We are Ronin. Expect us. Peace and love, guys.
Don't forget to like and subscribe. We out here.